Well, when I first heard about Sovereign, my mom had recommended me. I was looking at she was looking at various treatment programs, looking for like the best benefit that combined mental health and as well as dual diagnosis, because I primarily wanted to work on my diagnoses. When I first got here, I was really nervous. I was apprehensive because I think, like a lot of people who are recently diagnosed or dealing with mental health issues, it's kind of hard to admit that you have a problem or that something hasn't been working for you. So I was kind of in denial, and I was really uncomfortable with the idea at first. I was very apprehensive. Upon getting here, I first went to the Cordova house, and it's like everything was alleviated once I saw the view there. And the house managers welcomed me, and they made me feel really comfortable. The first couple of nights I stayed in my room, I was just very confused. I think like a lot of people are when they admit that they have a problem, or when they admit that something hasn't been working for them, and you need help. It's hard to get to that point to really bring yourself to a treatment facility. And Sovereign was everything I didn't expect, and that was a really good thing, because I got to the house and the house was so comfortable. Everyone in the house welcomed me, and they really made me feel safe, which I was so nervous. I mean, I didn't know who I was going to meet. I didn't know what would be going on. I had looked at the website and I knew sort of an overview of the groups, but I didn't know what it was like to really ever live in a residential treatment program. So within the first couple nights, the house managers talked to me, and they were just really compassionate and understanding, because they deal with this all the time. They deal with people being very uncomfortable in their new surroundings, and they accommodate, they care, they cook food, because a lot of us that first get here, we're going through a really traumatic time in our lives, or have been really down in the dumps. So it's like everything's taken care of for you. It's a new home, and I had really been void of a place to call home for a while, and it just kind of all disintegrated, all my fears and everything, once I realized that I wasn't alone, and there was so many other people just going through the same thing that I was going through. I was carrying around this heavy weight my entire life, feeling like I was completely alone, nobody would understand. And then I was in this environment where everybody understood, and I was with my own people, and they got what I was going through. So my experience at Cordova at the house, the mental health house, was amazing. I don't think I would have gotten through it or stayed had I not have been blessed with the amazing peers that I had, and the staff, and just a really magical environment. It was very serene and peaceful for me. Well, like a lot of people with mental illness or addiction, I did not want change. I loved my house. I was very attached. I mean, extremely attached. I had been there for 50 days, and I did not want to move. I mean, they kept telling me that the townhome was a privilege and a step up, and it was kind of the next step in my recovery to transition toward getting back into the real world. And I was just like a baby that stays in the womb too long. I did not want to leave. So the first week in the apartment was really awkward for me, like when I first got to Cordova. But I tried to just remind myself, utilize my coping skills that I've learned here, and just adjust. I knew that with time I would get comfortable, and now I love it. I have met new people that it's just change, and it's always hard, but I've met a new group of people who are really cool and welcoming, and the apartment managers there are still, the staff is still, it's different, but it's the same mentality. They're compassionate, and they're there for you. I mean, they're not counselors or therapists, but they do care about the clients, and I haven't experienced any adversity or injustice from the staff since I've been here. So it made it easier for me to transition, and then I realized that I got a little more freedom and I got my own room, so more privacy, and it's been really nice. Well, I remember when I first got here, I had never once been to a group therapy session in my life. I've had one-on-one therapy sessions, but this was really my first time in a group setting, and that was another thing I was really uncomfortable with at first, because I didn't want to share my story in front of strangers, especially therapists that I don't even know. I'm pretty closed off when it comes to my past, which is the reason why I'm here, to deal with, the issues that I've carried around my whole life. But it was kind of uncomfortable for me at first, not because of anybody else, but because of myself. I had to really breach that stronghold, that guard. I had to break through it, and everyone was really patient, and I would give feedback to other people, but I wouldn't talk about myself like I think a lot of people feel when they come here. And then the therapists in the groups were really patient with me, and they would challenge me and ask me questions, and it was uncomfortable at first because I was stubborn. I didn't want to admit that I had trauma or hardships in my life. And with time, it's just like this beautiful dance. Like, with time, I would hear other people's stories, and then I would share mine, and I could identify with them, and it made me more comfortable and more safe to know that everybody's had hurts and hang-ups, and it helps for you to get it out. And then I realized when those people had all gone and I was here, it was kind of my turn to give that to the people, the new clients, that I could help somebody, the potential that I could help somebody feel comfortable and safe. I kind of took it as a duty for myself and for other people, and I felt like this huge burden had been lifted once I could get things off my chest in a safe environment. And so I really do love the therapists here and the groups. My favorite groups have probably been definitely trauma group, because I really didn't understand what it was. I knew that I had had experiences in my life, but I didn't consider them traumatic. And so gaining that understanding and acceptance, I think ultimately I gained acceptance that it's okay to have trauma, and a lot of us here do, and that no one's alone. And I also really enjoy the stress management group because it can be very stressful here. You are dealing with yourself all day, every day. You can't hide behind anything. It's like you're looking in a mirror from the beginning of your day to the end of your day. And some days are great. You have breakthroughs. You really loosen up all the tension within yourself and issues that you have, and you have great days. And unfortunately, you also have really bad days that are very tough and very emotional. But what a beautiful thing. If you always know that it's for a purpose, that's the silver lining, is that you can't get better if you can't fix something if you don't know what's broken or where it's broken. So I think yoga and meditation are also really good for that, because it's nice to have a break from talking all day. And so I think every group you can get something out of if you're willing to put something in. If you're willing to try, you're definitely going to get something in return. Jill is great. I think she is very honest and kind, but that honesty is what I need. I think we're a really good match, because I don't like to be coddled, and I don't like to be sort of, babied, not saying any other, I don't know. I just don't. For me, I like to know the facts because I'm very hot and cold, I'm very emotional, and I'm kind of, moment to moment. And she has given me skills to help challenge that sort of behavior that I've just had my whole life. And the one-on-one is really your lifeline here because that's your time. And coming to treatment, you might not be a very selfish person outside, but this is the place to be selfish because you came here for you. And I didn't realize that at first. And I don't know that I would have realized that if it weren't for my one-on-one sessions with Jill. Because bringing up things about you in those sessions is really hard. I know a lot of people are uncomfortable and sort of quiet or closed off, or they don't want to dig up the things, they don't want to take their compartments out that they've compartmentalized their whole lives. And I was just another one of those people. But I think the therapists here have a way of gently withdrawing it, and you only go as far as you're comfortable going, but they'll definitely challenge you in a compassionate way to feel comfortable enough to share. And it's like you come in here and then you meet one-on-one with a stranger and you're like, I don't want to talk about anything, But with time and patience and willingness, I think a lot of people that come here are very heroic. There's no harder feat to embark upon than saying, I'm having trouble in this real world. It's not working. I need help. And that's what the therapists are here to help you with. I just want everybody here to know that I'm amazed at the patience and understanding most of the staff have here. It blows my mind because when we come in, clients, we each think that our case is the most important thing in the world because it's our life. And the fact that you guys have to deal with that, when new clients come in, that's frequently throughout the month or even the week sometimes. And you do your best. You do the best that you can. And I tell all new clients when they get here, immediately everybody wants to leave. It doesn't reflect on Sovereign. It's a reflection of the fact that we're scared, we're vulnerable, we're uncomfortable. It's something we've mostly never been through before. And I think that the staff knows how to deal with it. A lot of times it's crisis mode when people come in here, and I think everybody should give it. I always say, give it a week. Don't leave tonight. It's your first night here, give it a week. And I say that because somebody said that to me on my first night. And I've been here 67 days, and I needed it. Had I have left my first night, I probably wouldn't be breathing today. So thank you for the compassion, the inspiration, putting me in my place when I needed to kind of be simmered down, and just not giving up on me, because it allowed me to not give up on myself.